everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today's Know Before You Grow video, we're going to talk about feeding schedules, why they're so important, and what you need to do to set yourself up for them. Before we get into today's video, folks, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Also, if you guys have any questions, want to talk about your grow, or just say hi, leave them in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys. Also, with this video, we're going to be dropping a video on our Only Plants channel. I'll leave the link to that channel in the pinned comment section of this video. Go ahead, check it out, subscribe over there, and so you can kind of follow along with our grow. All right, folks, so today we're going to be talking feeding schedules, why they're so important, and what you need to do to set yourself up with them. Now, for a lot of folks right now, if you're following along, we're in the veg stage. The last video we talked about nitrogen and microbes and a whole lot more. I maybe should have focused in a little bit more on the nitrogen aspect of it, but that's why I want to talk to you guys about a feeding schedule and why it's so important to talk about everything that goes into a feeding schedule. Now, with our Lotus nutrients and a whole lot of other nutrients that are out there, some of them do come with a feeding schedule. I have that with me here today, but before I go over it with you guys, here's today's video sponsor, Mars Hydro. I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Mars Hydro. They keep the lights on for us here on the farm and for this indoor grow series. Check out our friends at marshydro.com, link in the description of the video. Are you guys looking for a new light? Or maybe you're just starting out. Check out Mars Hydro. They have everything you need, from the FCE 3000 to the Advanced Grower FC 6500 light. If you guys are looking for a tent of any and all sizes, they have them. They also carry inline fans and heat mats for smell control, for cool areas, and of course ventilation. Check out our friends at Mars Hydro. Link in the description of the video, marshydro.com. Check them out. And again, a big thank you to our friends at Mars Hydro. All right, folks. So again, big thank you to Mars Hydro. Guys, they really do keep the lights on for this entire grow. All right, so right here is the card that came with the Lotus Nutrient Set Pack that we got from our friends at GrowAce. And right here, it talks about well-rooted clones or seedlings. So this is for the really early phase. I really don't do a feeding schedule during that time. The soil typically has enough in it, if you buy the right soil, that you don't need to do it. But here we go with the veg stage. So right here, I'm going to show you guys the plaque so you guys can kind of see what I'm reading from here. You've got the veg stage, you've got flower stage, and it's got all the different weeks. And we're going to follow this pretty much to a T, all the way to week 4. And right now we're just in week 1, and we're going to go all the way to week 8 in the flower. But the first 2 weeks of that, for me, I consider pre-flower. So once you have this card or a general idea of your feeding schedule, you kind of have to start planning it out. Now, you don't have to follow this to the T, and in fact, I'm not going to, and we're going to deviate from it around week 5, 6, and 7 of the flower stage. So during the seedling phase, we're already past that. We completely ignored it because we had good soil, and now we're moving into the veg stage. And the veg stage does not have to be 4 weeks. So that's the thing I want to talk to you guys about. If you get a feeding schedule that says 4 weeks of veg, that is not set in stone. If you want bigger plants, if you want a longer grow, if you have time for a longer grow and the space, go 7 weeks, go 8 weeks in the veg. You're going to have a massive plant, and then you can switch to flower. So, and the flower is pretty much a set time. That plant is going to go from, once you switch the lights, it's going to go from veg to flower to finish. You can reverse it, but we're not going to talk about that today. So that's really what I want to focus in on, guys, is do you know the length of your grow? How long are you going to be growing for? When do you want to switch? What is there a calendar issue? Like for me in particular, I really have the focus in on the first 2 weeks of April. I would really like to wrap this up around the first 2 weeks of April. And the reason being is that we have other things to do in the outdoor grow spectrum, and we really can't be focusing in on indoor any longer in April. Things get crowded. It impedes our ability to clone in the grow room. So a lot of issues. So that's why I want to make sure that I'm done by those first 2 weeks of April. So you sit down with your feeding schedule, you look at your calendar, and you kind of go from there. So that's kind of what I want to explain to you guys today is you may get a feeding schedule with your nutrients, but it's not something set in stone. You have to determine how long you want to be in the veg or the flower and when do you want to harvest. Everybody's different. Everybody starts their grow at a different time. Everybody wants to finish their grow at a different time. So really what works best for you, make the plant work for you, don't work for the plant, and it'll be a lot easier. So folks, that's today's video on a feeding schedule. If you guys have questions about the feeding schedule, leave them in the comment section below. Love hearing from you guys. I'd be glad to answer anything if I can to the best of my ability. Again, I am not a expert. I try to tell people I'm learning all the time. I've gotten some emails, about, saying that I'm an expert. I've never claimed to be that. So just, if you guys leave a comment, I'll give you the best answer I can, and then maybe do some research on the other side to see what you can find. But folks, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Check out our Only Plants channel to follow along with us, and I will see you in another video. Take care.